As an artist, you spend like a whole year usually putting together 10 paintings, 12 paintings, whatever, right? Or at least my work. It takes me around that long to create that body of work for a show. And then you have 200 people on your opening night and, scattered across the course of the month, you have people come and visit that space. But when you question the effort that you've taken for a year for just 200 people to see it, it's not very motivating in a certain way. You want more people to come and see what you've been doing for this course of time, right? That's one. The other being that India is still a very nascent art community. We don't really go to art galleries. We don't really go to museums. It's a very small culture that's rapidly growing, but it's still very nascent. So if people aren't going to come to galleries, how do you take your art to them? With that thought, I kind of started questioning ways of how I could make that happen more often than, also, so I started talking to people and I realized that there is an intimidation with the common man to go to art galleries. There's something that eludes, there's an elusiveness about it. Either they find it too elitist, they think it's too conceptual, they don't understand it, it's too expensive, all kinds of things, right? And through these conversations, the learning was that if they aren't going to come, how do you take your work to them? And that's how kind of the idea of changing the medium came into play, wherein I put it onto fabric. And I said, hey, wear my shirt, wear my artwork. And shirt just happened to be, a byproduct of the artwork. But the idea was to put my art onto fabric and make you wear it and now say walk around in it, The idea was to make something that would typically be 300,000 rupees become 3,000 rupees, make 100,000 of those and yet make the same money that you would, but now with 100,000 people wearing your work. So you kind of make merchandise out of your art in a way, but I'm not selling a shirt. I'm still trying to sell my artwork, just, by changing the medium of it. And eventually that becomes an enterprise of its own. People call it fashion. I don't know a thing about fashion, but you learn. And the idea was, again, like principally to get what I do to more people, reach out to more people, have that intimidation break away, be more accessible as an artist. So I think, but I enjoy all spaces as an artist. So it's not that I'm particularly focused on one versus the other. I do what feels natural to me. I was in Coimbatore earlier this year on a project with them. There's this particular cat that features in a lot of my works, which kind of is becoming a signature on a lot of my canvases. And we put this large cat on this building, and that whole locality had a lot of cats. Even like the people that lived there, I think it was a rehabilitated slum, and those little apartments there, everybody had a cat of their own, sort of. I overheard these two kids walking past saying that that's my cat, and the other kid says, no, that's my cat. And interestingly, that cat is green in color, but these kids are arguing, saying that no, but my cat is white and your cat is brown, so that's my cat. But the cat was actually green on the wall. But just like overhearing, them, you kind of see how they have connected with that work and personalized it and, believe it's their cat now. So just like this something as small as that stuck with me, and you realize the impact you can have in just community projects like this, or just bringing your art to public spaces. You're kind of immortalizing your art as well, and creating an impact for these spaces as well and these people in the smallest ways possible. And I think that stays with you.